what you maybe expected, maybe if not otherwise what you were hoping for. But this last one, you find out a little bit about, I think about Governor Wrestling in a whole, and as a whole. You give up some matches there in the lower weight classes, but you came back and you got some bonus points, and the bonus points were the big difference in that win over Sturgis.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we had a really good day today. I mean, we talked about all week checking the boxes. Okay, each duel was a box to check, and we don't overlook one to the next. But I know we're all looking for the last box. Mm-hmm. We were looking for the Sturgis duel. It's why it was last. There's a lot riding on that duel. When you think about it, it's probably realistically. It's a seed at the state dual tournament because it's head-to-head criteria. And so, we really wanted that one. I penciled that thing out about 25 different times, and I came up with 25 different answers, and not one did I pencil that out. So, we knew, hey, where we're going to start. They bumped right away. So they bumped their 220 to our heavy, and they're trying to see if they can sneak out a win right there. We get that win. The Gardner get bonus points, We come back around on the flip side. Jacob Mason wrestles a really good match against a big Corbin Bunch. Corbin Bunch is a 6-pounder. And he's realistically probably more of a 20-pounder, or 26 walking around. So, he's big and pinned us before, so we had a job ahead of us. You get into that match with Alex Odakova, and that one goes either way. We really wanted it. And then they're good at 20, and they're good at 26. And, we battled hard at 32 with Schaefer, and we just knew that, hey, once we got to 38, it's our time. Yeah. And so realistically, we were looking to, kind of just win those matches right away, and then trying to get some momentum into bonus points. We didn't tell them, hey, you got to go out there and get a pin, but you got to go out there and you got to search for a win. If bonus points come along the way, you got to be able to nail those down. And I think, we were really opportunistic. Jackson battled. He was down going into that period, and found a way to get it done. We knew if we could get in certain positions with him, he's just got to keep his head up. He's got to keep going. And then we were absolutely clutch down the stretch in those weight classes. So I was really proud of our guys.
Well, in the way, Sturgis kind of moved things around. It looked like too from they switched their 45 and 52, did they not? And,
they both weighed in at 45. They're kind of trying to figure that out right now. They had Maverick Simons at the beginning of the year as a senior, and I'm not sure if they're going to get him back or not. I've seen him, walking around in crutches and things like that the last couple of weeks. So, I wish him well. But, they really don't know what they're going to do at 45 and 52. And so they're trying to kind of work both guys and work matchups. And, it was working.
Yeah, absolutely. but yeah, really just very, very nice performances. And, some guys went out and took care of business when they had those opportunities. Chase Sarda and Deegan, they get these first period pins. And today just seemed like a day where you could really tell when the momentum was on your side, good things were happening. And, obviously when Sturgis had the good things going, you kind of prevented them from really getting on a high momentum swing like you were able to do in the middle weights.
Yeah, I've really seen that in our guys. When we kind of get snowballing on people, we can definitely do it. We've got people in back-to-back weight classes that can do it. We've got a little inexperience at 26 and 32, and those guys are getting better every time out. But once we get to 38, it's rock and roll time, pretty much all the way to the top of our lineup. And when we get there, like I said, the guys they band together and they feed off each other, and that just goes to show the capabilities that they have, and also just how tight knit of a group that we have, in our room.
And you talk about the inexperience at 26 with Lincoln Huska. He had about as tough a day as anybody, but. Still battled against some pretty good talent, and and Hudson Schaefer is up and down too. But what we saw, if we take a look at this day as a whole, Coach Noyes and I were up here earlier on talking about the energy level and the hustle that a guy like Hudson Schaefer has, and sometimes I don't readily use that word hustle in a wrestling mat. I use energy, but hustle's another way to look at it. And you're seeing, like you say, some good things even though they had some tough days today.
Yeah, that's awesome that you say it, because that's actually kind of a focus with him. It's like, what? There's going to be some places where we're going to be a little out-muscled and we're going to be a little outmatched for experience, but, we want you to hustle. And if you're going to get out there, you're going to hustle. You're going to wrestle with a ton of energy. Good things are going to happen. They're bound to happen for you. Success just doesn't come because you're, super talented and you're standing around. You got to go create that. And so, that's what we're focusing on him is like, hey, what positions can you create action in? And we're starting to figure those positions out, kind of slowly. It's, we kind of had a little success early, and then, things kind of got hard for him. And then Mitchell Tournament happened. He was like, all right, we got to hit the reset button. We got to focus on small things. And you kind of saw it today. I mean, it was a whole lot better of a day progressively than we had last week.
Some good guys, good days for 4-0 for Trey and for Chance, and it's unfortunate that some of these guys didn't get a full 4 matches. Rydberg a 4-0 day today. Obviously, some real fine performances. Deegan Huska, another one of those guys that just was able to go out and do what he was expected to do. But then there's some guys like Odekoven who, in the match with Zabrowski once again, and we talked too up here about these Stevens and Sturgis matches. You got to be tired of seeing some of these guys, I would think, now 4 times or so in seeing them, but still it's going to be matches that you're going to be seeing them yet again. And, do you like seeing them that many times, trying to figure some different things out when things aren't going well, or do you like to kind of step aside when you get an opportunity and just maybe see them one last time down the road?
Yeah, you kind of just caught in the middle on that. Like, it's nice to see them a bunch of times so you figure some stuff out, but it's also not, because they can figure some stuff out. But about both those teams, I mean, it's the first time we see it, our coaching staff is very quaint to just picking up on little things. And so it's like, we didn't learn anything new today about, a lot of these guys that were out there. It's stuff that we've already got penciled down in the book. Mm-hmm. When we start talking individual matchups, the only time it's nice to see somebody is if you're trying to get some seeding criteria back, for the state tournament. Otherwise, it's just another match. But, for some of our guys, like Jacob Mason against, Shea Richter, it was a chance to okay, we've penciled some things in the book, and you've not checked one of those things in the book off. So it's like, can we start to check one off? So, okay, we start to check some learning things off in the book, and then, all of a sudden he's in a position and seeks out a win finally, and that's the 5th time that they've wrestled. That's our first win against him. So it's nice to see some of that progress and just the learning, but you can learn all you want. And then you get out there to match and you get tired and kind of the book goes out the window. So it's nice to see we're still reading the book as we're able to move.
All right. So other good things that you saw in the previous matches, even though you won them all, you only lost 2 or 3 matches in each of the first 3 duels. But what are the other good things that you're really happy about in those?
Lincoln Schoenhardt, coming back and beating Corbin Zent. We lost to him last week. And we, again, talked about a few different positions and a few different just opportunistic times in matches that we had to win. And, just seeing him go and do that was good. Like I said, Jacob Mason wrestled some really good stuff today. Odekoven did. He, just had a tough day with finishing out with Zabrowski. And it was almost a disservice not to see Chance Sarda get to wrestle, more than 2 matches. Gets to wrestle 2 matches and then has 2 forfeits. And it doesn't even seem right because he's so fun to watch, from a fan perspective. And, probably a normal coach would absolutely tear his hair out, but I don't have that problem. So he's really fun for me to watch.
Well,
and
now I get it.
Yeah.
There it is. Thanks to the guys with the big foreheads. So it's very entertaining. A lot of good stuff here today, and hopefully some of the things you didn't get to see today, you'll get to see down the road. Next up is Brandon Valley. They're coming back here on Thursdays, so obviously the benchmark and where you want to be, I suppose, is the next duel you got.
You want to win a state title right now. It's got to go through Brandon Valley. It doesn't matter if it's duels, doesn't matter if it's individual. And that's also the nice thing about this tournament is, if we get our duel done a little early, I get to go peek a little bit. So we get a little scouting to do on them. And I know it's returned in the favor as well if they get their duels done. So it's kind of nice just to get in the same gym and, see some of their guys, size them up a little bit, just see how they look against some common opponents. And, yeah.
You really haven't seen them yet this year.
No, we've not seen them once anywhere. We've looked at them in results and kind of looked at some head-to-heads and things like that. But for the most part, it's just we need to get out and we need to get against them. And they've got a good squad. We've got a good squad. We're going to let it fly.
Okay, Coach, we're looking forward to that. We'll have it for you on River 92.7. We'll see you Thursday night, all right?
I appreciate it.
Job well done with Shawn Lewis and the Governors going 4 in their East-West duels here at Ringside Gym today. Let's take a